Hey there. Today on Life Tools for Men, we're going to be talking about getting out of the basement. Yeah, get the heck out of your parents' house. Let's talk. So yeah, getting out of your parents' basement. Getting out of your parents' house. Super important. Right? As a guy, like, especially like you're to get out of your parents' house and you go make your own life, right? Start providing for yourself. Start paying your own rent. Start getting a place to have as your own. That's super important, I think, as far as men growing up. And I understand there's some circumstances where like you can't avoid it, right? You can't avoid not being at your parents. Maybe you have too much college debt. Maybe you have maybe there's too many other circumstances that are at play, and that's okay. I'm not like condemning if those circumstances are there. But what I'm really getting at is, do you have a plan? Right? Is your plan to stay in your parents' basement for the next 10 years? Or do you have like a budget set up saying, okay, if I save like $10,000 like a year for the next 3 years, I can afford a down payment on the house? Like that's a plan. There's nothing wrong with that. You can live in your parents' basement within that time frame. That's fine, but you have a plan at least, right? Your plan isn't to stay there. You're not just freeloading off your parents for that whole time. You're just trying to utilize what you got to save money and have a better home. That's great. Me and my wife, we sold our house. We lived in our parents' basement, her parents' basement. We lived there for almost 6 months because we sold our house and we were waiting for our other house to be ready. And so in that time, like it was really great. It helped us save a lot of money. And we were able to pay off some bills, pay down some debt. But we had the plan after that 6 months, we were gone. We were not going to stay there forever. And so get a plan together, right? That's the point. It's not to condemn you for being in the basement. It's not to say, hey, you're not even a real man because you're in the basement. That's not true. But you need to start looking at your life and go, okay, I'm here. I've been here for a while. What's my plan to get out of here? Do I have a plan to get out of here? And I'd say if you ask yourself that and your answer is no, you need to look at your life and go, okay, why am I not planning to get out of here? What am I afraid of? What's the next steps that I'm not willing to take, that I need to take? Assess your life. Be self-aware of what's going on in your life. Don't just let life happen to you, right? You need to get out there and happen to the world. We need you. Understand that? All of us, the whole world needs you to live to your fullest potential. So get out there. Start asking the questions. What's my next step? What do I need to do? Talk to your parents. If they're a good wise counsel, ask them, hey, like I'm thinking about like getting a plan together to move out. What would that look like? I'm sure they'd be really proud of you if they're stable, emotionally stable human beings. I know not everyone has the luxury of that. But they should be really proud that you're even willing to put forth the effort to looking at your life and getting a plan together. So do that. Do that this week. Talk to them. Talk to someone about developing a plan of getting out of your parents' house, out of the basement, the spare room, the room you grew up in, especially the room you grew up in. Please do not be 27 years old living in the room that you grew up in. That sounds like it sucks. And I hope that you have a plan to get out of that situation. Okay. So like always, guys, if you want to talk, you can go to talktowes.com, set up a time to talk with me one-on-one. Please subscribe to this page. That way you guys can get the updates when we post. And please, like the podcast, share it, talk to your friends about it. Tell people about what you're listening to. That's part of, we'll do an episode on vulnerability in men soon, but be vulnerable. Say, hey, I'm listening to this podcast about, how to be a better man, like giving me tools and stuff like that. Share it with your guys, friends at work. Like do that. Let's grow this thing. Let's build a community. Okay. We'll talk soon.